What's up, everybody? You know where you are. You are at my show, ASADAH Says, right here, baby, on a Tuesday morning. So we're going to get this day rolling because there's so much to talk about. This whole concept of love don't hurt is a very important thing. But before we start, let us go and find out what is the female solution, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the female solution. Thanks, Naima. Y'all sit right there. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this quick love don't hurt female solution message.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
All right, y'all, we are rocking and rolling, and I am so honored to have assistance. We had such a good time last week, and people gave such great feedback that it's like, we got to bring my girl Alicia Perry back. So I'm getting ready to tune in right now and bring her in. Hey, Alicia, darling.
Good morning, Asada.
How are you, my love?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me back on the show with you today. I am
Yes.
excited about the venture and our topic today.
We doing it, girl. We doing it now. There you go. There. Let's get that framing. Let's get that framing. So today we are really going to focus on love don't hurt, you guys, and that's a concept that I've come up with that really it just puts it really plainly. Like, when we are supposed to be loving each other, it is not supposed to be hurting. And so when we say things like, well, I had to beat you because, I love you, that's psychotic, guys. We're going to get into that. That's just really psychotic. And so I wanted today not only show what the energy is with people giving feedback about what love don't hurt is about, but I want us to look at some of what some young people are saying. I have some good video footage from a long time ago. These kids probably grown. They're probably 10 years older now. But I want us to see that. So I want to kind of start off with some people chimed in. I'm going to show them because I was like, oh, I think I want to feature them. People can't be here in person. So I said, I'm going to put them up in here. The first one I want to put up real basically is our sister Africa Porter said, if you love someone and someone loves you, it should not hurt. Exactly. Thank you, Africa, so much. And then my man, oh, Edwin out of Nigeria says, it is simply agape, love that's unconditional and genuine in nature, that produces pure joy and terminates all forms of pains. So I'm loving that so much. Thank you so much, Edwin. I want to y'all might hear some sound in the background. That's people just chiming in. I have some things I want to show, and I think I want to show them now. It's some video footage of people saying what love don't hurt means to them. So let me just go to that so I can take off these Facebook things and people making all this noise. Let me see. Let me share the screen with you guys, and then let's see what we dealing with here. What we looking at? I love it. Let's take a look. I'm gonna share it. You see that? Okay, you can see it.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Okay, good. Let's see what the sister got to say. Hold tight, y'all. Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
First thing I thought about when I see love don't, especially at this time, the brother Michael Brown, who was shot down by police, that love is needed right now. With everything now is inflamed. We're having problems. People are making judgments on accusations that they don't even know about, really. And that's how hate is perpetrated. We got to turn this around and find out what is true and undo the hate and replace it with love.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, let me
Okay, go
get
ahead.
that system. Okay, cool. Now, that's a part of it. Let's retain this because this love don't hurt is starting to burgeon into other concepts of it. You know, it started with my book Beating Black Kids and looking at the fact that love don't hurt, but now it's burgeoning into this other entity. I want to kind of look at one more video and then we're going to talk about it. And then y'all can talk about it. Y'all can chime in, send comments, and let's look about how we're interpreting this love don't hurt. Let's take a quick look at this video because I think this is important as well. Let's get the brother up. Yeah, okay. Let me get over there. Let's get that out and let's play. Now hold on. Let me share what I thought y'all was seeing. Hold on, hold on.
Don't hurt because that's real love.
Wait, I gotta go back, baby. Hold on.
Love don't hurt to me means that I have an opportunity to share some real love to all those people that mean a lot to me. Because by hurting other people, you get nothing. You're sending out very bad energy. And I love this caption, Love Don't Hurt, because that's real love, sharing and sending out ounces and oceans of love to each and every person that you meet. Peace out.
All right. Thank you, brother. Let me go. All right, cool. So let's look at it. Let's look at what these people are saying because they've obviously taken this to a whole nother level. And we're talking about globally what it deals with. Now, I'm a wind it on back for a minute. And I want to say, people, when you start in the home showing actions of pain, it sets the tone for the rest of how we function in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see people making decisions on war, when you see gangbangers fighting and all of these things, it comes out of that. So Alicia, talk a little bit about your perspective of this whole love don't hurt concept because you're here for a reason and you're here because I reached out to you about the concept. Talk about your viewpoint and then we'll move into what others are saying about it.
So when we or I look at love don't hurt, right? To me, love is patient, love is kind, love is giving, love is forgiving, right? And there has been a misperception that has been created in home life. And the misperception about it is if I love you, then I'm gonna beat you and it's in love to make you be better. Well, let's look at that. When we look at that, like if I'm gonna beat you out of love, how is that love? That makes no connection. There is no connection with that. Because then that sets the stage, as Asada was saying, right? It sets the tone for how you perceive love to be. Love is an action, right? That is filled in giving often, right? As Asada spoke about what we see in the world today and in those videos, right? There are so many things that have been misrooted in what love means. And love is it's a beautiful emotion that can help fulfill people's lives. And we lack it. We lack it based on what we've been given to think about or not think about in terms of how we treat each other. We would be less likely to engage with each other from negative perspectives if we thought about love as this fluid emotion, because love is fluid. It's accepting, it's peaceful. And within my own journey in my household, right, wasn't a child that was I'm gonna say spanked, but I did receive a beating one or two times, right? And it scarred me tremendously. Scarred me to the point where I developed a resentment. But then also along the lines as I became an adult, I it allowed me to accept some levels of abuse emotionally, right? I recognized because I witnessed domestic violence in my home. I knew that that wasn't the norm, right? And then, to see parents fall back into the space of, oh, I love you, based on we've been fighting, not thinking about the impacts that that had on me as a child. And so it doesn't equate in a child's mind, or even in an adult's mind, right? So if you are reared in an abusive home, or a home where you're beat, as Asada was stating, right, that's going to be your perception about how relationships should be, how interaction with others should be. You're going to carry those same characteristics and traits on if you have children. So we have to think about love being a fluid action, and it's one of the greatest gifts that we have been given.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely, if it can be expressed, right?
Correct.
Because I'm gonna tell you straight up. I was doing this workshop one day and I had a list that said 101 ways to show love to your child.
Mm,
And baby, and it was a multilingual workshop, but one of the parents started crying.
mm,
And when I said, why we looked at why is she crying? She said, because I don't know any of this. None of this was ever done to me. Like the whole concept of showing these positive emotions to a child wasn't even real to her because she never received them. And so this is where this whole, parents showing pain and thinking it's love, and it's distorted
mhm,
because that's what they experienced and what they got was distorted. It's like very generational, this whole not being able to show love, not because it doesn't hurt. And it is that syndrome where it's like, well, if I don't spank him, the cops are gonna get him, or comes from that save slavery thing, and we're gonna deal with that on a later show. But we think we got to show pain, like in Beloved. She went and she saw the slave master coming, and instead of her getting the two kids, she took the babies in the shed and killed them so that
mhm.
the slave master wouldn't get them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You killed them out of love, mom. That's what we did. Like that gets to a very psychotic space. And so if you're
Mhm,
out there spanking, hitting whatever children, and you think that you are showing love on some level, the kids don't feel love when you're hitting them, people. Let's be clear. I did ask a brother, yo, he was like, "Well, I'm glad I got spanked, all this." I said, "Yeah, but what was you saying when it was happening?" He was like, "Oh, I wanted to kill her.
mhm, mhm,
We
mhm,
wanted to
mhm,
kill her." We got a comment already. Go ahead, Naima's putting up here. It says, um, everybody I know who that was beaten as a child, including myself, was emotionally scarred by it.
mhm, mm,
Thank you, Naima. Yo, y'all got to stop fronting like that's not true. Nobody's trying to incriminate you, your mama, daddy. Nobody's trying to incriminate them. But we are saying that, like you said in the last show, we got to stop putting normalcy in hitting our children, right? Love doesn't hurt, guys. And so when you think of the emotion that you really want to have for your child, it is not the pain. Okay. So one of what I want to do today, some of what I want to do today, I want to show some of the children I've spoken to over the years with this book, because they have a better solution than
mm,
hitting you guys. They have a better idea about how they should be dealt with, and it doesn't involve hitting. So let's take a quick look at some little video vibe, um, and see, yeah, what did they say? What's going on? Let's take a look. Let me add this video here. Say your name.
My name is Aisha.
Okay, so what does your mom do when you get in trouble?
Well, she lets me know what I did and tells me like that's not good, and then she says, "Don't do it again." And it's easy because it doesn't take any beating. It doesn't take anything really bad. It just takes a ground. You have to get grounded, and that's that. And you have to be sorry like for what you did, and you have to and that has to be like it's not if it's really bad to shoot really nine. You'll be grounded for a longer amount of time. But she'll never really beat you.
Okay.
It's easy.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead,
Mm.
little mama, little baby girl. Look, thank you, parents that don't hit because you don't have to. I'm gonna show a few more of our lovely children, and that video had to be, I don't know, that could have been like 2000. I don't know. I won't. It might have been 2010. It might have been in that area, but it definitely was even before 2020. So these kids are really beautiful and grown right now. But she said it's easy. And I think it's important to leave memories in our children that feel easy. Their upbringing was easy and soft, right? I like here, we got a comment here. All right, Zelda speaks. She said those scars seldom heal, often repeating the same abuse we felt as children. And so that's right. Us leaving scars through what we did, whether what we said or what we got. You saw the beating black kids in the back. We got images and switches and all of that. I have a video that I found of mine of a sister who left a scar, but she talked about how it impacted her. I want us to
Mm.
take a look at that particular video. Let's get a little look and
So,
look at that.
Linda, right?
Yes.
What did you say about your experience with was he a nephew?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Just
Well, my oldest nephew, he's about 21 now, so he's still my baby.
Right.
But I remember I was babysitting, and he was about 5, maybe 4 years old, and he was misbehaving, and I gave him a whooping, and he was cowered in a corner, and he was looking up at me, and he was in just total disbelief and fear, and it just hit me on a level that I cannot explain, because I love him so much. To see him he felt so betrayed, and it just, that was the first and the last time that I ever get a child, and I will never do it.
Nice.
Okay. You feel
Those
me?
wounds, yeah,
You
those
feel
those are
me?
wounds that adults. One thing that we don't encourage enough is therapy for wounds, right?
Mm, mm, mm,
Um, Again, I remember on our last show, I know that my mother thought enough of me because she didn't do it for herself. She put
mhm,
me in therapy at 10. I've been in therapy since. I'm a clinician now. I still have therapy to address those wounds. And looking at how the impacts of that. I like that video because she said he cowered it, right?
mhm,
And we see that historically, right? Generationally. And then our boys leave the homes when they have those experiences
mm,
with mama and absentee dad, right? And they
mm,
join the gangs because they're cowarded, right? And the gangs give them a sense of purpose in their minds. That's the distortion. And then I'm tough, and then I'm going to go out and hurt someone because someone
mm.
damaged me.
Yeah, absolutely. Mirroring that behavior, guys. So when you see kids killing each other in the street,
Mm-hmm.
and when you see them creating harm, please understand that they were usually introduced to violence by you,
Mm-hmm.
parents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is not about being punitive or accusatory, but you parents must learn, understand, observe that your violence in the home sets the stage for how they record you deal with adversity, how you deal with disagreements, how you deal with what you don't like you use violence to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you don't like something they did, you use violence,
Mm-hmm.
and when you upset with them, you use violence. So that is the skill set that we're given. I often say raise your skills and not your hands when rearing our children, right? So come on, y'all. We have to do better because you are leaving scars, mental mainly, Because see, the physical scars when you use the whooping and all that, those go away, but not those mental ones, baby. The mental ones stay much longer, and they set a tone for even accepting relationships that are abusive.
Yes, exactly. I remember when I was about 17, I'd hung out with my cousins, and
Mm-hmm.
they lied on me. And as a result, I received a whipping.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you all, that whipping, right, left marks on me for at least about 5 years. And
Mm,
every time I looked at those marks on my legs, right, because it was actual like slave time, open lacerations that left scars in the shape of an extension cord.
mm, mm,
And so
mm,
when I would look at that, it reminded me, and the resentment, the anger, and it festered in me for so long that, my feelings toward my parent, I was in a very unhealthy space. I ran away from home as a result of it at that time. Went and lived with my dad, and yeah, it left some very lasting scars, both physically for me, but mentally, right? The pull and tug, and hearing that conversation of, I experienced it. I'm living, right? And parents have this whole perception about what worked then works now, and it didn't even work then for them, let
right.
alone working for us in the now at that time.
That's right.
And so understanding, right, the whole impacts of being whipped, of being beaten, is so slavery. And when I remember experiencing it, and I felt like I was a slave. I felt like I was being beat for something, and I was like, it just can't be this serious, right? That you would beat a person till their skin opens up. And it was just detrimental, and I can go back to it, right, and be forgiving, but
Mm-hmm.
in love, because I knew that my parent didn't know any better. But at the same time, and I remember when my dad saw the marks later,
Mm-hmm.
um he was so angry
Mm-hmm.
about me having that experience under my mother, right? That
Mm-hmm.
my dad went and found my mother and said, okay, so if this is what we're doing and they were divorced and separated, then let's see how this feels for you. And I
Wow.
remember at that time, right,
Wow.
rooting for that, right? Because I was so hurt. I had to
Mm-hmm.
go to school with those marks on me, and
Mm-hmm.
kids, um, not really made fun of me, but they came to my aid, my peers.
Wow.
They
Wow.
came to my aid. I remember DCFS becoming involved because of the wounds that were left on my body, and
Wow.
the guilt and shame that were associated with that particular experience, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, like, we have to think about the movie Precious,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking
Mm-hmm.
about what that meant for the child, having to go to school or not be able to go to school, missing so many days. And then I'm still gonna cater to the person that harmed me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
it doesn't feel good.
Mm.
For children to have this experience, because it does carry through. It sticks mentally with you about, this is my value. and
Yes.
and and, and our value isn't rooted in pain. Our value should be rooted in learning how to love each other healthily, and as that young lady said in that video clip, right, having the conversation to say no. No, if that means being
Mm-hmm.
firm and setting those limits and boundaries, yeah, we have to learn how to do that in love.
Amen. In
Yeah.
love, in love. And we're really going to go over some ways to demonstrate love a little later. I
Mhm.
have a sister that just came in the studio. I love her so dearly. Oh, gosh. She says she going to have her camera off, y'all. But, I wish she would come on with her hair. I don't care how her hair looking at. But I'm going to bring her on. Her name is Ashley Angulo. She has brought me to Virginia to speak at conferences. I'm going to have her
Mhm.
tell you a little bit about herself. Hey, little baby mama, baby girl, what's up?
Good morning. Good morning. I wish I could turn my camera on, but I got a house full over here and they're all getting ready for school.
We don't care about that. One of the things I would love for them to see is how young you look. If y'all guys saw her, she looked like a little girl herself. And it's like, what? So just tell them a little bit about your organization. She's a mother of how many children? You have seven?
I have 8 from my body, and I now
Not.
permanently, it's not adoption, but I have permanent custody of our my former foster daughter, so 9 now forever.
Nice.
And then I've got
Mm.
my 2 goddaughters who live with me as well, and a couple of other bonus kiddos. So we have about 12 kids in the house.
Do y'all feel
Nice.
me? 12 kids in the house.
Beautiful.
Now, this is important, y'all, because y'all get frustrated with 3 kids, 2 kids, whatever you talking about. But she rocking with 12. I need you to talk about your organization and why the concept of love don't hurt is relative to how you think.
Yes, and I have a story for you about this.
Come on, baby.
So I the organization that I run is Inspire Family Empowerment, and we are built on amplifying lived experience voices and working to reduce harm and trauma in the community as our own people. So we're run, I've got lived experience, my kids have lived experience with child welfare, and we have seen how they perpetuate harm in our community. And so our goal is to dismantle the system because we can do better. We don't need someone to come in from the outside to tell us how to do better. We got this. We can do it ourselves. And so it's been a long journey, very long journey. Just first of all, kind of finding my own voice and realizing that I had something important to share and that I was worthy of taking up space in rooms and that I had the competence, even though I don't have the degrees that I would like to have yet. They're in progress. But all of the years that I set the degree and the career to the side, um, because I was raising my children, I was still doing important work and I was gaining experience that you can't get that experience in a classroom. You
I'm about
have
to
to live
say,
it to
you
know
get
it.
it in the classroom, baby.
Um, and so one of the things that I'm really proud of is I run a homeschool enrichment center for students who have struggled in public school. And the school to prison pipeline is so real. There's so much violence in school, emotional and physical. There's so much violence. And I have kids who go to public school, so I'm not against public school, but it doesn't work for everybody. And when we have families who are under resourced and they're already coming into the school with not the resources that they need. Maybe they don't have the education or the background that they need to know how to find what they need within the school system. Their kids get pigeonholed into a certain trajectory, and it's really hard to get your child out of that trajectory once they've gone that way. And
Okay.
so a lot of the kids who come to us, they come to us in a state of dysregulation. Their nervous systems are on 100 because they've been in settings where they've been in, these quiet, they call them quiet rooms, but it's really isolation. They've been tackled by teachers, that they've had principals and administrators say that they're violent, they're aggressive. This is the language that our babies hear every day.
Right.
And so they're beginning to identify as these people that they're not. There's so much more than that. And so this is like, oh my gosh. So I have a student who came to us. This is his second year with us. He was in public school. His mom has other children. And I didn't tell her I was going to share this story, but I know she won't mind. She's got 5 kids and a mom who's disabled.
Okay.
They lost their housing partway through last year. They were coming to the homeschool center. When he started with us, she told us, well, he's had all these problems at school. He's thrown tables and chairs. She was like, he doesn't do it at home. I don't know why he does it at school, but he's been suspended and kicked out, and they wanted to put him in a special class. So she just pulled him out. But she didn't know what to do with him. She has to work. She's door dashing to make money just to survive. She doesn't have the time and the resources to be with him 24/7 because she has to work. She's under resourced. She can't afford private school. So he came to us. So when he first started with us, we had an incident where someone else in the building who wasn't one of our staff kind of cornered him. He got really upset. He ran out in the hallway. He was yelling. I thought it was going to go badly. We were able to de-escalate him. This was in the very beginning, right? So now fast forward to about 2 weeks ago. We were on spring break. I took the whole group to the beach. We had about 16 kids, maybe 20. We took them to the beach, and a lady, what the kids call a Karen, started picking on our youth. And she was saying, well, I don't want you near my children. Her babies were playing with a sand bucket. She didn't like really that he was a big brown boy in her
Mm,
children's space. That's really all it was. Because I watched the whole thing happen. He did nothing wrong. And
mhm,
he got a little upset. First he said, well, ma'am, the beach is for everybody. She didn't like
mhm,
that because how dare you stand up for yourself? How dare you
mhm,
advocate for
mhm,
yourself?
mhm,
She called
mhm.
911 on our 11-year-old student.
Oh
She
my
never
God.
came up to me. She never said anything to me. And so now, mind you, this is a kid who a year ago, by all these school reports, would have been throwing things, cursing people out, yelling, making a scene. I'm so proud of him, y'all.
Mm,
I said, and I mean, his nerves, you think about having the police called on you as a child and what that does to you and the trauma that
Mhm.
can create, right?
Mhm.
mm,
I
Mhm.
was like, hey, come over here. He came over here. He crouched down next to me. I lowered my voice. I was like, hey, the best way to show people that we aren't what they say we are is to not respond to them. I was like,
mm.
the crazier that this lady acts, the calmer you be. I said, and just
Got
show her how calm you are. Show her what a good and exemplary young man you are, because you are. Don't let
you.
her bring out something that's not you. Do you know he stayed calm the whole time? When the
Wow.
police came, he was chilling. He was in the water with his friends. He was playing, not a raised voice, not a curse word, nothing. The
Nice.
reason why he was able to control himself and why we saw that the no aggression and the calmness, because his nervous system is calm, because now
Mhm.
he's in an environment every day where we're not tackling him, we're not throwing him in a corner, we're not threatening him, we're not
Mm, mm,
coercing him to do things. We've been able
mhm,
to give him the space in our program, and because he has a great mom who also is not hurting him, she's not hitting her kids, he's
mhm,
had the space to calm his nervous system. Now he can learn. Now he can grow.
Mhm.
Now we get to
mm,
see the person that he really is. So,
mm.
no, love does not hurt. If you're not hurting kids, they're not going to hurt other people because he knew he was safe and he trusted me. And what
Nice.
an honor it is to be in a school environment and to be with these kids. And he trusted me when I said it's going to be okay. You don't
Mm,
have to defend yourself. You don't have to get loud. We got you. And he
mm.
was like, okay. And it was okay. I'm so proud of him, y'all.
Nice, nice. You
Yeah.
know what I love about this story, and thank you so much for being here. We need to have her on the show.
Yeah.
We can have look,
Absolutely.
we can have Ashley on this show, baby. Ashley is cold blooded. Ashley, is there a website that you have that you want people to go to at all, for your services or to find out more, about how they can be of assistance, collaborate with you?
Absolutely.
What's that
Um,
website?
inspirefamilyempowerment.com.
Okay. I'm going to have that up in a minute, y'all, because it's important to connect with people like Ashley that have institutions that bring calm and civility to families, calm and civility to young people, calm and civility to parents. Okay. And I
And
think, go ahead, baby, keep talking.
sorry, I wanted to say one more thing to tie in about the whole concept of love don't hurt. When we see parents who are hitting their kids and who are being dysregulated with their children in public spaces, and we're quick to judge and say, how could they do this? How could they do that? I'm going to
Mhm.
speak on behalf of the parents that bring their kids to our center. More
Yeah.
than one has come to me and said, you giving my children a safe space has given me the space to recharge so that I can
Mhm.
be the parent they need me to be. And so
Wow.
we have to be a community for each other. None of us, including myself with all these kids, we can't stay calm 24/7. That's not a reasonable expectation. We
Mhm.
all have to have someone to lean on who can support us, and we can tap out and they can tap in so that
Mhm.
we can give our kids the calm that they need. So,
Wow.
we got to be a village for each other. So we're trying to be the village for our families.
I love it. Didn't it? Didn't I
That's
was about to say
amazing.
it takes a village, baby. Now you said inspire families. Did you say .org.com? What did you say?
Inspire family empowerment. Can I put it in the chat? Does that work?
I would love you to put it in the chat. Then I'm gonna go ahead
Okay.
and put it on the screen so that
There
people
you go.
can get it. I love it so much. Thank you so much for being here, Ashley. Go ahead and continue to get the babies ready for school. But I'm so happy that you came in with us today and are giving energy to this whole Love Don't Hurt movement. Thank you for all the work that you do, Mama.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I'm gonna have
much.
you back on. We talked about this. I'm gonna have you back on for sure.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a
Peace.
good morning.
You got
You as
it.
well.
Peace.
Thank you. Nice to
All
meet you.
right. So believe it or not, it's commercial time, y'all. Let's take a quick break. When I come back, I'll have up Ashley's website so y'all can connect with her. And we got some more videos of young people that, they just got some good things to say about better things we can do. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. Peace. Great day. It's your girl ASADAH here to introduce a new female solution show called ASADAH Says. That's right. Every month we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way ASADAH says it should be done. See you then. Peace, right here on the Female Solution.
When you see Black children misbehaving in public, being loud, disrespectful, and destructive, do you think to yourself, what they need is a good beating? That's what's wrong with these parents. They don't know how to discipline their children. Were you disciplined in that way? And did your parents also call you stupid, ignorant, and lazy? That's the way you break a slave. You terrorize them with constant fear of painful punishment. You teach them they're powerless to speak up. And you insult them so they feel like nothing. We were broken by parents who were broken, by parents who were broken. It's time to end the cycle of brokenness and bring healing to ourselves and our communities by using knowledge, respect, and love. We'll show you how. I'm Naima Latif. Get the book Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma. On sale now. Go to www.naimalatif.com.
Oh, shucks. Let me tell y'all something. So we gonna talk about this later. I said, okay, we gonna do a show on that. And so come not next week, but the week after. Look, Up From Slavery, that jam is going to be about this whole, because you've even said it in this show, like I felt like a slave. Like, we cannot deny that this behavior has come out of slavery. So I want to put that sister and my girl Ashley, it just came up. This is her website at the bottom, inspirefamilyempowerment.com. So I'm going to leave that there for a minute. And I'm going to go to, we got a comment up in the chat real quick. Oh, look at this here. All right. It says, Ashley and Alicia are truly phenomenal as they come. Thank you for this opportunity to learn from your experiences, and the village rocks, period. Ashe. Thank you so much, Zelda. You already know, big time. And then we have, I think, we got more comments that'll be coming, but I do want to show a little bit more of the young folk that have things to say about how we behave, how it feels better to them if we just talk. So let's just take a quick look at some more young people that have something to say about how not really so much that love don't hurt, but it's the alternative. What should you do instead? Let's take a look.
My name is Madison, and I feel like if they're angry, they should talk it out instead of beating them, because I think it is not necessary to beat them or harm them in any way. And to me, my mom only tells me what I did wrong, and I realize it and I never do it again. And I mean, I sometimes think like I feel bad for other people, because I've known some of my friends that have been beat, and they've told me that they get scared. And I mean, they're good kids, but sometimes like when they do bad stuff, it happens to them. And I just think I know you guys can feel mad. I know the anger has to go somewhere, but can you just talk to someone and just say, I don't like what you're doing. This is not going out. I know we had some bad times, but can we talk it out?
Very nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love them babies. Look, now these are candid. These are just children. I'm just saying, hey, come here, let me talk to you. But that means this is in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
This is just already in their mind. They're not even they 11 years old. That and they can even see. Can you just talk to me? Can you just communicate? And then I just won't do it again. And so I want people, I say to the parents, raise your skills and not your hands or your voices to rear them, because then you're going to get a different product. You're just going to get a better product. We don't need to have young people growing with so much stress that they then grow into adults that can't cope.
I remember when I was growing up, my dad, because of his circumstances emotionally with his mom and grandparents, and I remember he would have a way with talking to me with such disdain. I
Mm,
remember early developing, my nervous system was so bad that I would scratch my skin
hate it.
until it bled, right? My
Mm-hmm,
nerves were shot really young.
mm-hmm,
And I just remember, right, when he left the home, how I was able to calm down in a lot of ways.
mm-hmm,
And so when I'm thinking also of love don't hurt, right, it's also in our tone and our cadence to each
mm-hmm.
other when we engage with each other. We even see it, or I see it in the workspace, right?
Yeah.
The punitive um interaction that not just your peer, but even management attempts to engage with you in a workspace, that in their mind, if I talk down to you, right? And people don't know the impacts of when someone talks down to them, how that causes them to feel, because you don't know what the other person is carrying from childhood,
Mm.
i.e., we see these instances over historically, right, where people have come in and become postal or blown up environments in schools because people have had these particular experiences and what we
Mhm,
look at as bullying, right?
mhm.
Now we have so many different variations of bullying, cyberbullying, the sexting, sharing people's information over the web, personal information. And so we have so many aspects of people being bullied, and then that translates to people don't care about me. And again, right,
Mm,
love does not hurt, it's not supposed to. So we really have to take it back and really work on undoing. And I like what Ashley said, undoing those traumas, because what we see is a society of dysregulated children now, where they have these children meetups, right? And then they
mhm.
just terrorize a whole space, whether it's a shopping mall or libraries
Yeah,
where they have these meetups, right? So we're seeing this, but these children are really acting out of pain, and they
right.
feel like this is the only way that they can gain attention, is to act out and do these malicious acts, right? Not
That's right.
realizing the repercussions on the back end, which is imprisonment, slavery again. So
Mhm.
we really have to work on helping others understand what love really is.
Man, thank you so much, girl. And you all, if you're just joining us, I am rocking with my co-host, Alicia Perry. She is a trauma certified life coach and social worker. Don't get it twisted. Thank you for being here. Y'all can see in the screen there, we got a whole Love Don't Hurt movement. Do y'all see them, brothers and sisters? Rocking that Love Don't Hurt. Come on, that's in New York, that's in Chicago, it's all over. It's young people, it's older people. I love it. There is a website you can go to, lovedon'thurt.net is where you can go, and literally you could be a part of the movement, be a part of the solution. It doesn't matter who you are. And I think, like you hear, Love Don't Hurt is getting manifested in a lot of different ways. And so you could be a part of the movement. I even have some people who have supported this. And then we got another comment, which I'm going to bring up in a minute. But I just got to bring up these images because people are out there making it happen. I want to say thank you to my girl, Ronnie Darcy. She went to Northwestern with me. Yeah. She got her a Love Don't Hurt shirt. She got her a Love Don't Hurt mug. That's what I'm talking about with the pink inside. Then I got my girl, Yana B. Yana B, let me just put this up. Let me move this real quick. Love Don't Hurt candle. Love Don't Hurt t-shirt. There we go. Big time, right? Then I got my girl, Vanessa, got her Love Don't Hurt shirt as well. And so we're just making it a movement, y'all. That's all I got to say to you. Like, that's how we doing this. We're making this so that you can be a part of just saying it. Because even just having the shirt that says it makes a person think, makes a person go, hmm. Look, we even rocking like this. Look, what, baby bop? What you need, boo? What you need? You need the little baby tea? What do you need? We got the tote bags, the whole 9 yards. I want to say thank you for all of those who have supported. And my girl, Ronnie, look, she got hers in the mail. Boop, 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 boop. She got her Love Don't Hurt shirt. So that just makes me extremely happy because sometimes people want to be a part, but they don't know how to be a part. They live in a different state. They live in a whatever, but this is a part of keeping the consciousness rolling and having people be a part of this whole Love Don't Hurt movement. I want to bring up a comment that came up. My girl Naima said, it is unnatural and unhealthy for women to function as single parents. We must raise our children collectively. This was the whole concept of the female solution, which is what the show is under. It says we must support each other in the raising of our children so that mothers don't get overwhelmed. Thank you so much, Naima. And that's what my girl Ashley was talking about. Big time. And I said, I want to put up her website again, guys, because it's so doggone important, right? To know people who can have solutions. So her website was inspirefamilyempowerment.com. So go to that website and see what the energy is like. And let's continue. Now, I want to bring on, it's almost, we not time to go yet, but I want to bring on a few more voices of young people that have other things to say about how we should respond and what this means, what this whole concept of beating means. So let's just see a little bit about, here's another young man. Let's see what he got to say.
All right, so what's your name?
Jamal Gales.
Jamal?
Jamal.
And what's your last name?
Gales.
Gail, so tell me what you feel about, how old are you, first of all?
13.
And what do you feel about this whole thing, beating black kids? What's your perspective on it?
Well, my perspective on it is that this book, it really explains a lot about how beating black kids, especially black kids, is wrong, very wrong. In fact, if you see your kid, like, beating people at school, that's probably because they think that beating people is most effective. It instills the fear of millions of them.
Come on, little short, but like, I shot the show. I don't even know what phone that was. It probably was the Android. I don't know what it was back then, but that was like maybe 2010-ish, 2011-ish. Okay. So we talking about for real, time has passed. But even in these young people, 11 years old, 13 years old, they have something to say as young people. And we have to start listening and shifting what we're leaving in them because they already have good equipment. They're showing you they already got good minds. And so we don't have to work on that. We just have to not dumb that down. We have to, we have to stop leaving memories so that we grown as I don't know what, and we still have scars about what happened. I want to show, I don't know if this is going to be my last video, but I do want to show it. I might have a couple more, but this is a young sister. I was speaking at Old Dominion University, and I loved this expression from this young person. Let's take a look.
Action. Hi, my name is Taylor Williams. I'm a sophomore here at ODU. When I tell you I loved your seminar, I loved it. It changed my whole outlook on the way to raise children, especially when you said the only reason why we beat our kids is because we learned that from slavery times when they will put us on a pedestal and tell us this is what you do, what happens if you do X, Y, and Z. Loved it. Changed my whole outlook. Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay, cool. I'm gonna finish off with this last young lady, and then we gonna go into conversation. This young lady has actually grown to be so profound. You may know her mom.
What's
Let's
your
just
name, my
take it.
dear?
Anxiety.
Anzari, and how old are you?
13.
13. So what do you feel about all this beating stuff? Like, if I disagree with you, we disagree. Should I just beat you?
No, I think that's a bad idea because I've met plenty of people who have been beaten and they're still not very respectful and stuff like that. And I don't think that it helps at all because I've got beat a couple of times, but I don't think that ever helped me learn anything.
Okay.
And once I would just talk to it and sat on the side and was like, this is what I don't want you to do, it stuck in my head more. And I was like, the reason that I thought that when I got beat that I thought that, oh, they're just doing this because they are mad at me and, they don't have no other way to do it. And I'm just like, what's going on? And I'm like, can they just talk to me as I'm a human being and I'm not a slave? It started to make me think about how the masters did in slavery to black people. And I'm a child, I'm a person, I'm still a human being. I'm not something like an animal or anything that you should beat me because I did something wrong. And that's not how I learned.
Wow. You're profound, young lady. Thank you.
Now that young sister is so funny. I'm like, ooh, I could use this for the slavery show too. So, but that young sister is a speaker in her own right now. She's my girl Candace's daughter, and Candace's in my book actually talking because I've always modeled my mothering after her in terms of how she spoke to her children and how she really took the time, even when they were like 3 and 4 years old, to ask their opinions and then to express her ideas about, I don't like the way y'all talking to each other. Tell me what that's about. And they'd be like 3 and 4 talking about, she said, and she said, I don't want to hear about her. I want to hear about you. Like, and they're like 3 and 4 years old. And so you talking about raising up great children who can discern, who can make decisions, who can make an impact. That's how you do it. So I love that. So I guess I want to get into because we got a little bit more time. We're almost done. I can't believe how fast this time goes. But what do you think? Um, what do you think the concept "love don't hurt" should resonate for the most? Men, women, young people. Like, who do you think needs to receive this message the most?
Everyone. Why are we gonna specify it for men and women? It's love doesn't hurt. That should be for everyone. I
Yeah.
like the last clip because it takes us back to slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what beating does, and this came to me, it incites revolt and or provides cowardice.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we think about slaves, right? They rose up in revolt against being beaten, mistreated, right?
Yep.
But with that comes the feeling of resentment. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the uprising, upheaval, right? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
sick and tired of being sick and tired of this
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or it's gonna be the opposite of I'm gonna cower down and just go along, and the go along is even damaging psychologically. So both ways it's psychologically damaging.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so I think Asada, love don't hurt, that's for everyone.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? We need to become comfortable with saying, right, love doesn't hurt, and this is why it shouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And going back to the explanations of what the children said, I love that the children have an open mind to be able to express, right, I don't learn well this way, I
Yeah.
don't do well under these type of constraints, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine if we empower each other to say like, okay, this works for me
Mm-hmm.
versus this doesn't work and this is why. But
Mm-hmm.
we always try to dismiss out of the mouth of babes, right?
Yeah.
But babes, no, because we were all babes at one
That's
time.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. And we
definitely.
come, in Scientology, our belief is that we come as babies,
Mm-hmm.
but that spirit in the baby is the same spirit that came here with an agenda. It's just that the human form, you go from baby to adult. But it's why I speak to babies very plainly. What's up? I let them hit my hand and I react so that they could feel like, okay, I got some power in this babyness. But if you listen to them early, you will get not only some wisdom, but you're going to get a little bit of yourself. Like you're
Absolutely.
going to get a part of how you think as well. And so we need to keep that in mind as we are working with them and growing with them and sharing with them. And I'm going to share something right now because as we get ready to close, people, you need solutions. Okay, I got some. I talked in the last show. I wrote something called the Parental Code of Ethics, and I'm going to bring us to the side so we can see it here. But I want to read just a few of these so that you all get an overstanding of better ways to think, better ways to do, right? And so I started at the beginning last week, and y'all can read, y'all can enlarge the screen or whatever you need. But I think I want to start from the bottom and go work my way up because it don't matter. So my favorite line in this whole parental code of ethics is, I will only seek excellence in my child if I am excellent myself.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. What happened, y'all? Yes, indeed. Then it says, my child will learn respect firsthand from the respect I give to him or her. That's how they're gonna learn respect. Because
Mm-hmm.
I respect them. I treat that. One of them young sisters said something about dignity. And if she didn't say it, I ain't show the video yet. I'll show it at some point. But anyway, then it says here, I will contemplate the future impact my present time parenting will have on my child's development. I'm gonna read that again. I will contemplate the future impact my present time parenting will have on my child's development. So when you're talking about love don't hurt, y'all, come on, y'all. We can do better. So and I'm gonna leave it with that for now because this parental code of ethics, I'll bring it back to the table. But as we get ready to close, Mom, give us a minute of some words of wisdom from you about love don't hurt and why people should support this mission.
Um, we can be the change that we want to see within our communities, right? When we start within, um, the simplified, right? Love don't hurt. That's simple, but
Yeah.
it's the action behind it, right? It is an actual movement that can resonate and perpetuate change across communities.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to not only support the movement, but we want to think about what does it mean for us moving forward, right?
Mhm,
How can we help families understand that love doesn't hurt? How can
mhm,
we, even though we're having a conversation here, right? How can we have the conversation in different spaces? How can we increase our spaces to accommodate the conversations? Because I'm sure people have this thought in their mind like, well, how am I supposed to manage this? Because I wasn't taught.
mhm,
But we have to be comfortable with saying, like, I was hurt based on these actions. So it's a level of transparency and
mhm,
recognizing,
mhm.
right? It's an acknowledgement of I was hurt, but I don't want to remain there.
Mm,
Right?
nice. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's my thought on it.
Come on, y'all. Well, look, it is time to go, which I cannot believe, but we are going to continue on this month with talking about how love doesn't hurt. And next week, Tuesday, we're going to be dealing with fear. What we say, girl? Fear,
Fear.
fear. Yeah, and it was something, oh, fear and secrets.
Yes.
Fear and secrets. We're
Yeah.
going to get into that because that runs rampant in our community for so many wrong reasons, but we're going to confront it so we can do better. So I want to say thank you for being here today, Alicia, and rocking with me. And thank you guys for watching. You know why? Hold on. We got one more comment. Let me see. Oh, baby. It says, look at this. Writing about your pain helps.
Helps.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That's right. Thank you so much, Zelda. You guys, thank you for tuning in. We out for today. And guess what? We'll see you next Tuesday on a
Thank you for having me. Have an
You
amazing
got
week.
it. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
We out. Look, we out, but we not out. Yes, we are. Peace.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.